And so I'm definitely curious to see the mental fortitude of the players really shine through to kind of get game one out of their head, definitely take game two under their wing so they can kind of get their head in the game in that kind of sense.
Yeah, game one definitely a bit of a tilter there. It got ended so quickly. We only saw 3 dragons coming through. Chris, we're gonna need the screen share. And yeah, but with the Kindred and the Seraphine and the Draven, they're gonna provide so much backline damage and sustain that it's going to be really tough. It's a really strong team fighting composition that Davenport have drafted here, and we were able to see their objective control in game one. This should make it even easier for them. So we'll see, and we have both junglers starting on top side.
Yeah, but I do want to point out the fact that on the contrary, looking a little bit of a bush gang, Desired Gun is walking in. No, please don't walk in! Don't walk in! Okay, she's fine.
Okay, yeah, we're kind of able to W out. Yep, no problem.
But I will say this, that TTB have great backline access. And on the contrary, they have the Seraphim with a trade. They have a lot of backline access. The Hecarim ulti, Silas stealing ultis. I mean, Rakan to a certain extent. They have a lot of ways to get onto Draven, and so he needs to have his positioning be top tier for this game.
Yeah, we can pretty clearly see what each team is going for here. TTB with the hard dive, you have Sivir, Silas, Rakan, Hecarim, right? That's just hard dive. And then you have Davenport with the hard disengage, which is Seraphine, Draven, and Kindred. So we have a really aggressive trade going down here. 1 HP on the Seraphine. She has to flash out. And that's a really, really important summoner to get. Hecarim needs to be eyeing this lane now. Seraphine without a flash is just a death wish. But Silas goes forward, and he's going to get that kill, first blood. Seraphine playing so disrespectful there. Stays at the wave with 100 HP and with no flash and just allows Silas to very easily kill her.
The best part is that the wave was pushing away from the Seraphine, so she has to TP to try and crash this wave. If Lulu comes for a mid gank, Seraphine with no flash, it's going to be a disaster.
Yep, absolute disaster if Lulu's able to find the gank. But for now, we have Kindred interrupting with an invade here of her own. And XL Macro is already desperately in need of mana and health. As we have trading on the bot side, but TTB is very happy with this wave coming towards them in their tower. They are in no threat of dying.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be really hard to get this balling kind of under wraps.
Oh, and here's the gank. And Lulu's able to find the E, knock the Seraphine back, and this should just be a very easy kill. Very well done by TTB here to recognize the advantage they have in mid lane and punish with that Hecarim gank.
So mid lane is absolutely over right now.
Yeah.
Mid lane is over. There's Silas will absolutely smash Seraphine, especially because this is already a counter matchup, and Seraphine already can't really fight against the Silas. So what Seraphine has to do right now is work with Kindred and get a lot more roams off. But again, I mean, as Kindred comes in and does exactly what I just said. But again, I mean, Silas now gets a base, crash the wave fully with a free TP as Lulu's coming from the top side. Nara, gotta be careful.
Yeah, Lulu's here gets the damage down. Kindred's walking up though, and with Nara flashing away, they're gonna be very happy actually to even get that flash away. But now the taunt lands onto Sivir. Rakan hits the knockup, Ignite down onto Sivir. Draven Auto's coming through, but will not be able to get the lethal damage down.
Yeah, as we see, Gallia with actually no summons. I didn't really see how he burned the flash at that exchange. But again, I mean, the way that these lanes are playing out, I mean, they're playing really aggressively, and Hecarim is just on the clock, punishing these zones. That's a no flash on mid, no flash on top. And Kindred is not going to be at a point in the game to actually fight against the Hecarim as of right now. And so Hecarim has full run of the map, has a lot of gang, has a lot of lanes to go to, and he's gonna run the Rift for a while.
Yep, definitely in control of this game. We need to see him push this advantage though, because like we said, the Seraphine Kindred team fighting is going to be so strong when it comes to these dragon fights. We need to see him get a very considerable lead over this Kindred here.
Yeah. And I think a good sign for TTB is the fact that all the lanes are pretty much even. Obviously, in the top lane, a little farmer's advantage, a 300 gold lead for the Silas goes in a little aggressively.
Yeah, Silas is going for an aggressive gank here, and Kindred is here. Will they get the slow off? It looks like Silas should. Silas is running into the red side jungle. He had an. What?
Wait. Silas has just, and he just goes back to the wave. Silas has left, and Henry Houdini has entered the rift right now as he's
mind control. Takes a nice trade. Has the Seraphine ult. It's not gonna land. But recall the flash W, Q lands from Silas in the passive auto means they pick up the kill. Oh my gosh, able to actually get the kill on the Seraphine there. Such a weird series of events. Silas with the absolute mind control to live that previous play, missing the Seraphine ult, but Rakan has his back, able to E flash W on the Seraphine. Such a nice setup from Desired Gun. He's been such a strong player in these first 2 games.
I mean, an absolutely fantastic play as Rakan going in for another one.
Yep, Draven's flash. Hecarim's here, though. He's going to knock him back. Ignite goes down. Sivir with the flash Q, and they pick up the kill on the Draven. Everything is coming up TTB aggro here. And Lulu has just been an absolute beast on this Hecarim. They let it through in game 2 after banning it in game 1. And he has just been punishing every flash in this game.
I mean, we have seen TTB reborn in this game too, Fish. Was this even on the same rift as the last game? We're seeing proactivity. We are seeing connectivity. We are seeing synchronization on the rift. And for the first time in this whole series, Davenport on the back foot.
Yep, TTB find themselves in a really strong position now, having gotten a few kills and this dragon as well. We need to see them continue this as the game progresses here, but Cho'Gath's going to land a nice silence on Gnar and is going to start chasing him down with those E auto attacks. He has to jump away, but the charm is going to land on Silas, and the Kingslayer is so much health, and he's just going to live. He has to flash out, but he's going to live. Ponzi gets Ignite. Hecarim's back. Silas ended up dying in the mid lane, but it's not going to matter. Draven has to heal. Hecarim ult comes through. The Justice Punch is going to buy some time, but both bot laners are going to die. It's a solo kill in the mid lane for the Seraphine, but crucially TTB pick up the double kill on the bot side.
I mean, Silas there, the Kingslayer healing, on 11.6 has actually been reduced for more AP ratios on it, but clearly those nerfs did not do nearly enough to try and put this champ in the dirt. As Excel's going in for a trade.
Yeah, he interrupts the dash there. If he had any more mana or health, he probably could have chased that down for a kill. But yep, so low on resources means he's going to have to reset on this cannon wave. Kindred is right here too if he's not careful.
But Kindred has been spotted, I believe. I believe Silas and Hecarim are both roaming up. This is going to be a fight.
Okay, Kindred picks up the mark, has to flash out, and will live. So
that is
yep.
The third mark for Kindred, though. And this Kindred is going to be really scary. They're not... The way that you have to play around Kindred is very, very particular. And so TTB has not shown to this point about how to actually play around the Kindred, kind of put her in the ground. And so she has 3 marks. She is going to become a force. She is going to do a lot of damage the later this thing goes on. As Seraph with another aggressive trade.
Yep, and Hecarim invading on the chickens, but now Seraphine could be in a position to be ganked here. Yep.
With the onslaught of shadows,
Oh, here comes Rakan, another beautiful gank into the mid lane from Desired Gun to pick up a kill. That is the second time now that he has guaranteed that kill on the Seraphine when it would not have been guaranteed otherwise. So once again, just great play from Desired Gun to see that he has a kill opportunity and to make that early roam for it.
The killer instinct has been absolutely fantastic coming from TTB in this game right now, as Galio is face checking, but Kindred's here.
Yep, Rakan has so much dash. That Sivir Q did so much damage. Hecarim is lurking nearby, and they actually aren't able to take away that control ward, and now Hecarim's going in with the Ghost.
As Hecarim is going in with the Ghost here, Silas is on the flank though, steals the Kindred ulti to keep him safe. as Seraphine with a huge ultimate trying to get him in the back line, but it's not really going to matter as Hecarim with the Silence the Kindle gives lands the spike down as they pick off Seraphine in the back line, but Silas is just not dying in this fight. Draven is going to be massive, gets the cash in off of Silas. But it's still, even with that cash in, it's still a 1k gold lead for TTB in the game.
Wow, Silas stayed alive for so long there, able to put out so much damage with this passive auto attack.
Yeah, and as we are seeing, I mean, obviously in the top lane, we have a lot of definitely a lot of CS gap coming through for the Gnar. But again, Cho'Gath's part is not really to win. He's just trying not to die. He's the weak side god this game. He's gotten some pressure, but he's definitely put on the back foot, and so we will see.
Yep, Kindred is getting her auto attacks down now, but Hecarim's here, and they should just be able to clear away this control ward. And Draven's just going to continue autoing this tower here.
Yeah, we see the Divine Sunder coming through from Hecarim. I really don't like it. I think that the Turbo Tempting build is just better in basically every way that the Divine Sunder build can do. But also, Divine Sunder is most cost efficient when there are health stackers within it. But who's stacking health on the side of red? I don't think anyone's really going to be able to stack HP besides maybe the Gnar. And so I'm a little perplexed by the build. We really have to see the Chem Tank for some engage. I think that Cho'Gath on this base should really get a Bremel Vest or a Bomby Cinder. Hopefully gets one of the two of those on his base. He has 900, so he won't be able to get the Bombies. He should be able to get a Bremel Vest and maybe a Control Ward.
Yeah, Gnar's just stacking the Demolish though. This tower is getting awfully low on health.
Yeah, but the thing is that Gnar's gonna have a really big issue trying to get onto these people. I mean, Sivir and Rakan have a lot of range, deceptively long amount of range, and so them trying to actually get onto the Sivir is going to be a really big issue.
Draven ult tries to steal as we see a fight in the river now. Stolen Seraphine ult is going to miss, and the root does not quite land on to the Silas, and he flashes away from the Seraphine ult. So nearly picking up a kill there on the Silas, but with TTB picking up the dragon, no one's going to die just yet.
Yeah, as you recall, a little bit of a flank mission here. Nothing really more going to come of it, though. As we see quietly, Draven has finished his Immortal Shield Bow, and Seraphine is actually gone for the Chemtech Putrefier for the first item. I like his adaptation. There's a lot of healing coming through from Hecarim and from Silas, and so kind of using that correct optimization to try and get yourself back into the game as efficiently as possible is definitely going to be a really big benefit. You see the Everfrost, which is from Silas, which actually is really curious because as a trade, nothing more comes of it though. To touch quickly on Excel has to flash away, and a lot of Hyperproc is going to catch up to him really quickly, especially with the Gnar bar. It's really, really dangerous. To touch on Everfrost quickly, the changes to 11.6 have made it so that Everfrost is now an even stronger item. And so what happens with Silas is that he can E1, E2, guaranteeing the stun into the Everfrost, and that's almost 2 seconds of just full CC where you can't even move. And then with the Everfrost, that actually guarantees the explosionary part of your Q, which is a really big hit to his kit as Gnar gets caught out.
Yep, Onslaught of Shadows goes through. Assuming Gnar would flash the wall, he doesn't. Gnar's still going to end up dying here. As, yep, Rupture's going to land, and one last auto attack. Minions? Okay, the minions got it. And Ponzi gets a kill on Galio, the other side of the map. Looks like Draven has to flash out. Kindred ult goes down. Re-engage from the Rakan is looking possible, but Kindred's probably just going to die here. Draven ult hits both of them, does no damage, and Kindred's just going to go down. Blue buff on Sivir too, God.
And yeah, I mean, as talked about before in the draft, having the Sivir is going to be really devastating because not a lot of champs are going to be able to actually interact with her, especially when she does this, as Silas goes through with the trade.
Silas goes in for a trade, hits the Everfrost. Is he going to look for an ult steal here? Seraphine getting dangerously low, 100 HP, has to flash out. Encore is going to land, but it's not going to do much. TP's coming through. He's just going to go for the kill, and Gnar will end up picking up the shutdown.
Yeah, a good TP from the red as a response, but that does give XL a nice free wave mid, and so he can try and catch himself back up in the game. I do want to check on the kindred marks. We have not checked on the kindred marks in a while, and so I am curious to see what kindred marks are. She still has 3 marks, I believe.
She's
so
4.
Oh, she has now hit her 4th. All of them. Her 4th mark, and so excuse me. And so she gets the range increases. She gets a lot of other increases as well. They're just going in here.
They're looking for an engage in the river. TP coming through from Seraphine. Hecarim getting dangerously low. They're going to get that kill. Now XL could be the target. Another TP from the Silas. He lands the Everfrost. They're going in on the Seraphine. Chomped down by Cho'Gath. Kindred's 1 HP. Can Silas get his chains down? Nope, but the Galio ult's going to come through, land on the Rakan, and I don't know if anything's going to happen here. Kindred goes back in and just blows up instantly. Galio has to flash out. Ignite goes down on the Rakan, but doesn't find the kill, and now Galio's going to be the target. He goes down. Oh, man, and it's just a bit of a disaster here for Davenport University.
Yeah, Davenport University are playing absolutely scared right now. They're not committing to the engagement that we saw in Game 1. They seem less confident on this comp than the other one, which is kind of strange considering the fact that it was a Varus mid and a Caitlyn top. Obviously, Draven did get solo XP and gold on the bot side, but that was traded for Sivir getting gold on the mid of the map. And so overall, it's a pretty even trade considering the XP and farm leads. However, as we see, the mid canyon is starting to form. The mid jungle from TTB is absolutely taken over the game. Silas 7-3-5, almost a 2k gold lead onto the Seraphine. Hecarim an almost 2k gold lead onto the Kindred, and so this is going to be a lot of damage as Seraphine does get really chunked out.
Yep, Silas unable to land the chains though means that she will live this time, and we have dragon spawning. Seraphine at such low HP, she has ult, but you have to assume that TTB will just get the 3rd dragon of the game here very easily.
Yeah.
But it looks like Seraphine's going to try to contest on half HP, and TTB are focusing on the dragon, keeping them zoned out, keeping them in their jungle, 3k HP on the dragon, and Davenport's just going to give it. They decided it is not worth to all die for a Cloud Drake, and that seems like the right call.
What we're seeing here from the TTB draft is that if they get ahead, they have to walk into it. Yes, Draven, they have a god Draven. Yes, he's getting all the healing and the shielding and the resources. However, as we're seeing, the amount of range that Sivir has in these fights is that it's really hard for Gnar. They have not a lot of engage. They're basically praying that TTB just fight into them so that Draven can get his auto attack off as Gnar. Goes with this weird stride breaker, but okay. As we're definitely gonna be curious to see how this goes out. XL, I want to look at the top wave, please, because there's nothing is spawning soon. Baron's up in 2 minutes. Dragon's up in 2 minutes, and as we can see, XL is doing excellent wave management. He knows Nara's mid. He's trying to push up the top wave so that he gets denied some creeps. And so I think that this is going to be an excellent play. Won't really work out in their favor, but still at least a good attempt. As we do see the 1-3-1 starting to form here. See the 1-3-1 starting to form. Silas is being matched by the Seraphine, and all Seraphine has to do is just spam Q 10,000 times to try and wave clear against the Silas. She knows she can't actually fight against the Silas, even if she was in an even state, which she is most definitely not right now, with Lulu taking over the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Rift Herald play onto mid here is going to bring Seraphine over. Yeah, they're just going to get the charge down and then get out.
Yeah, there's no need to fight for it. If you're on TTB right now, there's no need to fight. You have the Baron up in about 15 seconds. You have full lane domination. No one is going to be able to match you in the side lane unless you're Gnar at this point. And even then, it's definitely still a little hazy because obviously Cho'Gath has a lot of ways of stopping the Gnar. And so if you're not Gnar at this point in the game, you can't really match anybody in the side lane, especially when Hecarim is this absolutely ginormous. And so having this prospect is definitely a little interesting, as Sivir has now have her Duskblade and her Mana Moon, almost completed and her Duskblade finished. That's her mythic item, and so this is primarily a Q poking Seraphine. She has a Dark Harvest. She's farmed herself pretty excellently in the game, the highest farm in the whole game, and so she's gonna hit like an absolute truck.
Yep, and it looks like TTB is just going to be playing this very nice, very slowly until this next dragon spawns. No need to try to rush the Baron yet. They don't quite have the pressure to do it. They're just looking for picks now. They're looking for any small advantage they can gain before this next dragon. And yeah, the Sivir Q's doing half of Seraphine's health. So
those aren't pizzas this time, Fish. These are razor blades, man. These are no longer pizzas. Sivir is absolutely shredding. Gonna shred through this Davenport U composition.
Throwing saw blades.
Absolutely, man. She's not shearing delivery time. She's shearing trees with this pizza she's got. And so also considering the fact that they have so much wave clear, and the going for an engage.
Yep, flashing in, he's gonna land the 3-man ult, and here comes Hecarim. He's looking for the Draven, who's mispositioned out of the Kindred ult, decides that he doesn't want to be in it all, but now the Onslaught of Shadows comes through. Kindred's gonna die as well. Seraphine's gonna go down. Charm lands onto Galio, and he's gonna die, and this should be Baron for TTB.
Yeah.
What a huge play.
Gnar is absolutely not in this fight. He had TP available. He could have jumped in, but he had no rage bar. But again, I mean, Desired Gun, time and time again, has these on the edge perfect flanks. The Gnar ulti into the Sivir Q, hitting everybody on the back and the return. The Silas Everfrost, just the chain CC was absolutely spectacular coming through. As the Draven ulti, nothing really here, but Gnar is here to, I guess, show his face down and take a photo with the Baron as it's going down, because he's not doing anything right now.
Yep, and we got Dragon in 30 seconds, so they're just going to reset here. And yeah, Desired Gun has just been an absolute gem to watch in these two games, setting up such beautiful engages and roams. Even you know, when he's in a losing position, like in game 1, but now in game number 2, when they're winning big, he gets to make the hero team fight play and land the 3-man knockup.
Quince, their bot lane has not died this game.
Yep.
6-0-21. They have their bot lane combined have 100% participation, as Davenport is just sneaking the drag bot. Sash is having none of it.
Yep, able to deny the soul here before TTB able to reset back from the Baron. So they will deny the soul here, but with TTB having the Baron buff, they're just going to look to ARAM it down mid with this prio they have.
Yeah, and this is a really dangerous flank to be if you're on Davenport, at least for the moment, because had to give you those angles to Rakan where he can jump and hit 4 or 5 people with his W was going to be a really big challenge. Okay.
Yep. So, TTB looking to make a side lane play here. Yep, collapsing all onto the Gnar. See if they can pick him up. He's completely caught out.
Yeah, I mean, Gnar has to flash away.
Rakan R is not going to land, so he does well to keep alive, but the turret will go down, and he has to expend the flash to stay alive. So worth it for TTB. Here goes Galio with the 4-man taunt. Seraphine ult only going to hit Cho'Gath somehow. Draven ult over top. Kindred lives with about 300 HP and is going to lifesteal up, but so far no deaths taken, and we have Baron pushes going on everywhere. Gnar's there, ult completely misses. Oh my god! And TTB are just going to take over this game with Silas in the bot lane.
I can almost feel the tilt coming through from the Gnar through the screen right now, Fish. I mean, you have got to be on the ropes here. Silas is just perma pushing down this lane. We were seeing before the engage, even though it didn't work out, it's still a net benefit. Silas is getting solo XP, getting solo farm. And so even though they lost the dragon, the amount of wave pressure, that's 2 towers for essentially nothing, if not with essentially 0 kills and nothing to fight for. And so, I mean, this is absolutely a winning position. What a turn we've seen coming through from the game 1 to game 2 adaptations. We were talking before in the pregame, Can TTB bounce back? Can they get over this mental hurdle that they got after game 1? And I think the answer is yes, Fish.
Yeah, looking really strong in this game, and have put themselves in a great position to close it out. In about 3 minutes, they have two options. Both the Dragon and the Baron are spawning. They can split the map and take either one. And as long as they're able to secure one of the two, you think TTB should be able to just end up taking this victory here. Bot lane inhibitor towers on about 100 HP. And so, yeah, I think for the next 2.5, 3 minutes or so, it's going to be not too much going on.
Yeah, but this is still gonna benefit. We have to say, Seraphine has 2 items.
Yep.
Draven has 2 items. Is he incredibly strong? No, he's actually incredibly weak, if you ask me.
Yeah, and TTB honestly could have gotten wiped in that last fight if Seraphine had just landed the ult on anyone except the Cho'Gath, right? Like, if that fight in the top lane has a Seraphine ult landing on 3 members, then it can easily swing back in Davenport's favor. So we need to see the Sivir staying alive. We need to see the Sylas, putting out max damage in these fights. But like you said, the Seraphine and the Draven are scaling.
Yeah. The Seraphine and the Draven are getting a point to start scaling up. But again, we've seen from the draft, this draft, if you're Draven, it's so hard to play. You have so many unstoppable moves, so many things to dodge. And if you get hit by 1 CC, Rakan just falls up. You're just dead.
Yep.
Rakan just absolutely falls up and actually smashes you. And so it's definitely going to be a challenge. But I think that TTB and Davenport are up for it, as Kindred has started to match the Sylas bot. Very interesting.
Yeah, Seraphine unable to do that anymore, and Sylas is just gonna solo kill the Kindred. Oh my gosh. But now they're chasing down. Flash Justice Punch is going to land. Zonia comes through, but it's just a matter of time before he dies. Shut down onto the Draven. That is so much gold that he just picked up.
Yeah, the shutdown, I think Sylas kind of forfunded it a little bit, went 1 for 1 there. That definitely did not need to go 1 for 1. Arguably worth, probably not though, as he does have 3 items. And he has bought the Morello. We have anti-healing. Cho'Gath has the anti-healing, as we do see again. We have to see TTB in a profitable position, in a position where they can actually very much win the game here and take it to game 3. Silver scrapes as Rakan gets engaged on.
What is going on here? Rakan just running all the way around. The Rupture is going to hit 3 people. Rakan knockout's only going to hit 1. Seraphine only hits the Cho'Gath again. We have Hexa in the backline. Lamb's Spike going down. Galio's going to die. And now we have Sylas entering the fight from the backside. And TTB is just going to wipe the floor with Davenport University. This has got to be the end of the game. So many members dying. Seraphine's on 100 HP. Can Hecarim pick it up? He will do that. And that is a full-on ace for TTB. And it should be the Nexus.
I think they're just going to run for the Nexus. I think they're going to run for the Nexus here. They're just sprinting it down mid. They're sprinting it down bot rather, and I think this is just the end of the game. There is just no way.
Yeah, end of the game. They have a wave here. They're just going to take it very easily. And Naka, we're headed to a game 3 here. 2 very interesting games. We have lane dominance in game 1 out of Davenport. We have we have mid-jungle dominance out of TTB in Game 2. What do we have in Game 3? It should be an absolute blast.
I don't care what we have in Game 3.